Okay, in exercise 7-20, we're going to do a long-term note receivable. And what makes this different is that we end up with compound interest. So on January 1st of 2021, Wright Transport sold 4 school buses to the Elmira School District. In exchange for buses, Wright received a note requiring payment of $515,000 by Elmira on December 1st of 2023. So that's actually 3 years from now, right? So January 1st, 21. So all of 21, all of 22, all of 23. And it says the effective interest rate is 3%. So the first part of this is how much sales revenue would Wright recognize on January 1st of 2021 for this transaction. And there's a couple of different ways you can do this. All right. The easiest way would be to go to our time value of money tables. Yeah, can't get it in here with the camera, right? So you just have to trust me that 8% for 3 years, the present value factor at 8% for 3 years is 0.79383. So 515,000 times 0.79383. And when we multiply that out, we get 515,000 times 0.79383, and that's going to equal 408,822.45, but we're just going to round it to 822. So that's how much revenue we would recognize at that time. Now, the other way that you can do this, see my calculator here. Hard to see it on this. And so the other way you can do this, if we clear it off, is you put in the interest rate, and it will be 1 plus R, 1.08, so 1 plus the rate, and we raise that to the third power, and we get 1.259, and then so then we would take the 500, we can store that amount, and we would take the 515,000 and divide it by the stored amount. 515,000 divided by, and that would be the 408,823. So you can do it either way. Do it with a calculator, or do it by the present value tables. So our journal entry at the time of purchase of this would be note receivable, would be the 515,000. We would have the sales revenue of the 408,822. The difference between that is 106,178, and that's going to be our discount on notes receivable. All right, so then on 12/31, and this is the first year, 12/31 of 21. The way I get that is I'm going to take the 408, 822, and that's known as my carrying value. My carrying value of 408, 822, and I'm going to multiply that times 8%. And I get 32,705. So my journal entry here will be discount on notes receivable, and that's 32,705 and 76 cents. So I'm going to round that to 706. And of course, I'll have my interest revenue. $32,706. Now, we're not going to get paid at this point. We're actually going 2 more years. So our journal entry on 12/31 of 22 is not going to be exactly this. We're going to use the same formula, but we have to calculate the new carrying value. And the new carrying value is the original amount, the 408, 822, plus the discount that we've written off. So we're going to start with 408, 822, and I'm going to add to that the 32,706, and that gives me a new carrying value of 41,528. So now I take the 41,528. Let me go ahead and put this over here in a corner. So we've got 408, 822 plus 32,706, and that gives us 441,528. So now I take the 441,528 times that by 8%. And that's going to give me 35,322.24 cents. So we'll leave it at 322. And so our journal entry for the second year will be discount on notes receivable. And that'll be the 35,322. And we'll have interest revenue. $35,322. All right, now finally on December 31st of 2023, we're going to get paid. So on 12/31/23, I'm going to go find some more scratch paper here, if you will. I'm going to take the second year's carrying value, 441,528. I'm going to add the discount that we wrote off, 35,322. And that's going to give me 476,850. I'm going to multiply that times 8%. And that'll give me 38,148. Now, before I make the entry, let's go ahead and check that we will have written off all of the discount on notes receivable. So I've got 35,148. I have, or 38,145. I have 35,322, and I have 32,706. Add that all up. and I come up with 106, 176, and my number is 178. So we've got a slight rounding error there, a $2 rounding error there. And so in order to compensate for that, I'm just going to add that right there. And so I'm going to write off the discount on notes receivable. And that will be the 38,147. Interest revenue, $38,147, and then I have to account for the notes receivable. So I'm going to receive cash, $515,000, and I'm going to write off the notes receivable, $515,000. All right, so that's a long-term note receivable with compound interest.